Okay, estudiantes, el pretérito. Okay, here's your regular endings, las terminaciones normales, los acentos. Con acento, hasta o con acento. Almorzaron y con acento, iste y o con acento en la o, imos, ieron. Okay, don't forget, cargarzar. Si el verbo termina en car, right, that's going to get a C to QU change, but only in the yo form, okay? Doesn't happen in the other forms. Gar will be G to GU, only in the yo form, okay? Yo form only, yo form only. And then finally, zar will get Z to C, but again, only in the yo form. You can see it right here, okay? Does not happen. Your regular preterite endings are what's used for these verbs. Okay, lots of irregular verbs in the preterites. Let's get started. All these weird irregulars that I'm giving you now, absolutely no accents, okay? Dar, di diste, dio, dimos, di. Vi, viste, vio, vimos, vieron, for ver. Ser and ir have the same forms in the preterite. Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron. Okay. Then you've got your groups. Remember these? Okay, these ones, I'm going to give you the stems, and then I give you the endings. Okay, you combine the stem with the preferred ending, and you've got your form. Okay, J group is traer, producir, conducir, traducir, decir. Pretty much any verb that ends in usir, right, is going to be in this group. Okay, there are your stems: tras, produz, conduz, traduc, dich, and you add iste, o, imos, eron. Here's why this is bolded, because the next few groups are all going to have essentially identical endings to this. Okay, your J group, your UV group, your U group, they all have the same endings. J is just a little bit different, and it's in this form. Eron, just E-R-O-N. Next group. Oh, look at these endings. Look how similar they look to the last slide. Okay, if you can group them in your brain like that, guys, it's going to be less work for you. So, iste, o, imos, the only difference, again, is J group just gets E-R-O-N, but UV, U, I, the other ones we're going to talk about, gets I-E-R-O-N, ieron, okay? So UV group, again, it's called this because all the stems have a UV in them, guys. It's not like somebody just randomly made up that name. Everybody thought, oh, these share this, so we'll call it this group, okay? Use the information to help you, okay? So tuv, anduv, estuv, obtuv, detuv, and then the endings you add to the Grupo U, you've got coop, soup, pus, pood, okay? And then aber is technically in this group, but we only use one form of it in the preterite, and that's ubo. So if you see preterite and you're supposed to conjugate aber, ubo is your form, okay? And it means there occurred. Same endings from the last slide. Iste, o, imos, ieron. I group, just three in this group. You've got vin, kis, okay? Hacer is normally H-I-C, but it's going to be H-I-Z in the L-A usted form, okay? Because if you don't, then you end up with H-I-C-O, which gets pronounced eco, that hard C, and that's not going to mix with all the other forms. So we switch it to a Z. So ise, hiciste, hizo, okay? Hicimos, hicieron. All right? Now, don't forget about your I to Y soul verbs, okay? Like the sole of a shoe, the bottom of a shoe. Remember, these ones, okay, they get an I to Y change in these bottom forms, okay? Because you don't want to have three vowels in a row. If you don't do that, if you ended up with L-E-I-O with an accent, you have three vowels, it looks weird, people don't know how to pronounce it, so you switch the I to a Y, you're good to go. Now, remember in Spanish we have strong vowels and weak vowels. So for leer, right, even though normally iste and imos do not get an accent over that I, they're going to because your strong vowels are A, E, and O, okay? And when that letter I, which is a weak vowel, okay, I am weak and so are you, okay? When it's next to a strong vowel like an E, then you have to accent it, okay? Whereas by contrast, right, a verb like uir, incluir, when you have a U and an I next to each other because they're both weak, you're not going to put that accent. Okay? That'll be clearer when we do the practice. GUIR verbs, okay? These ones get a pass. They look like they should go in the I to Y group, but they don't. You can have three vowels in a row for these. So here's distinguir, right? It ends in GUIR, okay? I get to leave in these two forms where normally I would switch I to Y. I'm not going to do that because the U makes no sound. It's not pronounced. It's only there to help out the G, to make the G sound like a G. Okay, so that's why I get away with it. Okay, so pretty much any verb that ends in GUIR is going to follow that pattern. Okay, stem changers. What do I do with these in the preterite? Well, they're not boot verbs anymore, okay? The first thing you got to do is look at the last two letters. If it ends in AR or ER, you do absolutely nothing. It will get no stem change in the preterite. Here's your example. Perdere. Oh, I see it ends in ER. Oh no, I'm not playing with you, stem change. Okay, and then I just put my normal endings on. Perdí, perdiste, perdió, perdimos, perdieron. But if it's an IR verb, then you are going to have to put in a stem change. But, okay, you only have two choices in the preterite. Number one, O to U. Number two, E to I. So if your original stem change, right, like for Maria, O to U E, and you say, oh, okay, I'm using the L form in the preterite, you're going to have to put in a stem change, but instead of O to U E, you modify it to O to U, like we did here, okay, and here. Again, bottom two forms. So stem changes in the preterite must be an IR verb. Okay, it must only occur in the bottom two forms, and it's only going to either be O to U or E to I for that stem change. All right, here's an example of reír and sonreír. These are special cases because what happens is when you cut off the IR, right, and you do have to put in that stem change, okay, so that's where I get the RI, then I add my ending IO with an accent, you have two letter I's next to each other. So what's going to happen is one of those is going to drop out, or you can think of it as smushing them both together, but you end up just having the one letter I because they're the exact same letter, they make the same sound, there's no reason to have two of them. So the bottom two forms, right, are going to look like this, río, rieron, with just the one I. And that's it.